Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
Wow, welcome to another edition of DBDS Live. I'm your host, Mel Money, and I'm here with my special co-host, my DBDS sister, Ernetta. How you feeling today, my sister?
Hey, everyone. I am doing well. I am enjoying this day. How about you, Mel? How are you?
Whew, well, I'm feeling great because, despite this pandemic we're in, countless people are still uplifting each other. Countless single people still have the hope that healthy monogamous relationships still exist. And before we get this energetic love flowing, Ernetta, I just want to say I'm extremely honored that you're part of the DBDS family, because not only you're inspiration, but you're also a very positive sister. So thank you once again for co-hosting with me.
Oh, thank you so much, Mel, for having me. This is such a great honor for me to be here.
Absolutely. And you're very welcome. And please tell the people where they can find your amazing work. And is there anything else you may want to share before we pivot to our show?
Yes, well, you can all stay connected with me. I'm on all social media platforms at Ernetta Caldwell. I am an author, speaker, coach. I am also the founder of Beauty for Ashes Transformations, where I teach women that have gone through the devastation of going through a heartbreak, separation, or divorce to overcome by implementing self-love, healing, and transformation. I am also the creator of the Prayer Vision Box, where it's all about your prayers manifesting into tangible realities. I currently reside in South Carolina. I am a wife, a mother, a glammy, and I'm here today because I'm just passionate about helping others. When I was in the middle of my divorce, I remember I was so broken and hurt, and I wanted to give up on life. And I told God, if you help me get through, I will turn around and help others get through as well. So that's why I'm here.
Oh, that's what we love about you, my sister. You're such an amazing person. We're going to continue to spread that positive energy. Make sure you support my sister as well. So this is the perfect segue. You're very welcome. So today's show is titled, How Balance Can Decrease Your Attraction Level in Your Relationship. Because some people, Ernetta, they don't realize that when a man is not doing his due diligence as a man, and a woman is not fulfilling her role, it can actually decrease the attraction level. So what you think of this topic, Ernetta?
Oh, this topic is amazing, and it's much needed. We need to really talk about this because I don't think we talk about it enough.
Yeah, I agree with you. And listen, to the DBDS family, you now have the capability to call in live later on during our show, which we now have a segment called The Exchange. So if you have any questions or thoughts you would like to share with our panel, the phone line will be open later on. You can also check us out live right now on our DBDS Live YouTube channel, and also our podcast, DBDS Live LLC.podbean.com, which is integrated with Spotify and iHeartRadio, so you don't miss these hot episodes. So with that being said, you ready, Ernetta, to bring the first guest into the studio?
Oh, I'm ready. We got guests for y'all today. Y'all are in for a treat.
Absolutely. So the first sister coming into the DBDS Live studio is Dr. Peggie. Welcome to DBDS Live.
Hi, Mel. Hi, Ernetta. Thank you so much.
Hey.
I am so happy and grateful for being here on today.
Absolutely. So tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you're on the show today.
Okay, I am Dr. Peggie. I am an author, co-author, educator, speaker, beauty consultant, spiritual health and wellness coach, and spiritual immune system strategist. I am the founder of Kingdom of Pearls, LLC, where I help individuals wounded by spiritual abuse recover and rediscover their kingdom value as a beautiful pearl of God. I also have a private Facebook group called Supporting Your SIS, Your Spiritual Immune System, where I share my stories and I give strategies for recovering and healing from those wounded areas within the spirit and within the soul. You may follow me on all social media platforms as Dr. Peggie. That's Peggie with an IE. Dr. Peggie or Dr. Peggie Etheridge Johnson. And my website is mykingdompearls.com. I am a wife, married to my husband for 50 years. I'm a mother of 3 sons, 3 daughters in love, 5 adorable grandchildren, 5 grand dogs, and I live in South Carolina. I'm here today because, first of all, I was invited, and I just love sharing from my experience as a wife, a mother, and my experience of becoming a healthy person after being spiritually abused.
Well, listen, it is a complete honor for you to be on the show today, sister. And we just so grateful to have you in our presence. So thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Yes. And the next person coming into the DBDS Live studio is my brother, Freddie Lopez. Welcome to DBDS Live.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you're on the show today.
I'm an inspiring actor, as well a motivational speaker and a life coach. I'm here because I want to share my faith with a lot of people and my ways of seeing life and stuff like that to show people to experience love in a different way within themselves, not only what they see, and I love people and I love helping people, and that's why I'm here. And thank you for inviting me as well. And with all the great people on this panel, I'm gonna have a great time.
That's what we love to hear, brother. Thank you again. And you thought that was it? Nah, we have one more coming in, and that is my brother, Henry. Welcome to DBDS Live, brother. Welcome back.
God bless you, brothers and sisters. Thanks for having me back, Mel. I am honored once again, and as always, to be here with you. I'm also honored and thankful to be with Miss Ernetta, Miss Peggie, my brother Freddie Lopez. I'm just glad to be here today. And for those of you who don't know me or would like to introduce myself, my name is Henry Bien-Aimé. I am a minister and a man of faith of Restoration Springs Interdenominational Church, of which Dr. T. Charles Brantley is the pastor. I am the media minister. I am in charge of the media department, and I am in charge of the Facebook social media that goes out and broadcasts all of our streams. I am also a producer at iHeartRadio Connecticut. I have produced shows such as a news talk show, The Vinnie Penn Project, which is on 960 WELI in New Haven. I have also produced sports shows such as The Rob Dibble Show, which is on 979 ESPN in Hartford. I am also the field producer and the video producer for high school sports in Southern Connecticut as well. I am also the founder of P413 Productions, where we take sports themes and bring them into the kingdom of Christ. I am also a videographer as well as a podcast producer. I am the father of 3, one of which is a serviceman currently serving our country. God bless my son, Devon Melendez. And I am married to the beautiful Edith Danny Bien-Aimé. And as well as I have a daughter and I have a younger son who is actually enrolled in 2 sports. He's actually enrolled in soccer as well as basketball at this present time. And my purpose for being here is because, just like the rest of the panel, I definitely want to show that in this pandemic time, in this time where it seems like there's a storm going around, there's still a place for God, there's still a place for fellowship, and there's still a place to have mature conversations, meaning that we can have conversations without having to drag each other down, look at each other's point of view, and maybe, just maybe, even try to bring each other up.
Thank you, brother. Listen, I have to upgrade my resume. Everybody is simply amazing. Thank you so much. So much greatness in this room. Speaking of that, I'm just going to pull up a quick comment for Ernetta to read right quick. Check this out.
Oh, we have greatness in this room this evening. Yes, we do. Yes.
Absolutely. That was my sister, Alicia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate that. Another comment right here.
Thank you for his service to our country. Yes, we thank him so much. We salute him. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So today, I think this is a great topic to discuss and analyze how we complement each other and what attributes we can improve within ourselves to naturally attract our natural counterpart. But before we get deep with this topic, we have a DBDS anonymous section where people post their thoughts, their issues, and they look for some constructive criticism to help them along the journey. So I'll have my DBDS sister Ernetta read the letter. Take it away, Ernetta.
Hello, DBDS family. I'm glad I found this group. I know we all have our struggles right now. I just learned on New Year's Day about how my wife was no longer in love with me while in a hotel room on a trip in Disney World, and how she was not happy with her life or marriage. It's been a trying month as I learned she's in love with a person that was supposed to be a friend who lives states away from us. When we have days to hang out, it's good and fun, minus the affection. But then there's moments where it's like she remembers she isn't in love with me and she sends me away. She told me everything from, quote, I haven't been a good wife, you deserve better, someone who could give you a family. I don't think I was meant to be married, and we are just best friends, unquote. I am trying to take the faith-based approach and continue to give unconditional love and serve and honor her. But it definitely hurts knowing that while I do all these things she asks of me, I know she is texting the other guy nonstop, and I am sure she kicked me out of the bedroom so she can call and talk to him before bed. I always give her a kiss goodnight on the forehead before going down the stairs to my temporary bedroom. Tonight, she leaned for a kiss before quickly realizing she was leaning in and quickly put her forehead out. It's like she is confused or purposely pushing me away. Part of me thinks it's guilt because she kissed her ex-high school boyfriend back last summer, and now she's pushing me away due to all of this. She refused counseling and prefers to be married. She wants to stay as friends and see if we can find that spark again. Some days are harder than others, but I am trying to have faith and keep praying that it will all work out. I will not give up on us. What else can I do to save our marriage?
Well, first off, brother, thank you so much for your letter, because as always, it takes courage to be open. So don't worry. We have some experience, great knowledgeable people that can help guide you in the right direction. So I'm coming to my sister, Dr. Peggie. What advice you have for this brother? How can we help him?
Well, as you said, commend him for stepping out and, seeking help in this manner. There is full of questions. And the reason that I say that is because, in any situation that or circumstance where you are sharing about a relationship, there is always two sides to the conversation, your side, their side. And so I saw so many questions that popped into my head that I needed answers to before I could give him, completely about how I feel. But the first that popped in my head was she was not happy with her marriage life, okay? So she says to him, I haven't been a good wife. You deserve better. Someone who will give you a friends.
Dr.
The
Peggy?
question that came to me when she said, I haven't been a good wife, what does she mean by that? And she says he deserved better, someone who can give him a family. That sparked a thought there. Is the reason that she is doing the things she's doing and saying the things that she's saying is that she can't give him a family? And if that is the situation, it may be that she is pushed away from her or cause him not to love her so that she doesn't feel guilty about not being able to give him a family. Now, there's many other nuggets, many other things that I saw in here. One question that popped into my mind, why did she say that concerning he deserves better? Is there a result that she's dealing with? Is there something that she's done that she feels that if she reveals it to him, he will not forgive her for it? And is this the reason that she just wants to be friends with him? So these questions came to my mind. And he also says that she refuses to get counseling. And that is a red flag there also. I can understand, having issues in your marriage, but if you want the marriage to continue, you should be willing to talk to someone, because a counselor is going to peel back all of these layers. They're gonna go back and be hidden within her, within him. And then another thought came to mind. Was there any type of abuse involved in her childhood, perhaps, or even spiritual abuse? What these be contributing factors also? I think he needs the answer. He needs the answer to some of these questions in order to move forward. And I'm wondering if she's willing to answer those questions for him. But he definitely needs the answer to the questions, because I feel like he says he the faith-based method of loving and honoring and respecting, but faith to do with it has a lot more to do other than just loving her, respecting her, and honoring her. It's a lot more to do with it. And one of those things is questions, because more questions than answers.
Wow. Well, very well said, Dr. Peggy. Very thoughtful insight. You're right. There's a lot of missing holes within this letter. So I'm coming to my brother, Freddie. What advice you have for this brother? How can we help him?
One, I would love to read out my response to this letter. Previous several days to go into this letter before I give out another advice also. I wrote to this letter. I would say first, one must respect honesty as much as it may hurt. It's time to move forward, and that's hard decision to make when you are still emotionally attached to the other person. But the found strength you gain will be much greater, because in life we find evolution and finding the greater cause in every situation at hand. Losing yourself in someone else, it's equal to giving up on yourself. Sometimes something bad has to happen in order for good effect to take cause. We must learn to evolve and not adapt. The understanding of everyone comes in one life for a lesson, and not all meant to be together. At times, people are afraid to let go of something that hurts because haven't yet found the way to live within themselves, so they hold on to others. You shouldn't have to ever feel like holding on to something that always going to be there, because that belongs with what belongs will be as the breath that you take should never feel suffocated, meaning that you shouldn't have to feel suffocated being in a relationship. Number one is as my advice also from that my response to that letter, it would be that you have to first see how your relationship first started, what mainly attracted you. If you want something to actually work, and she does not want counseling and wants to be friends, then she already probably let go of the relationship heart wise, not mentally, because obviously she has something within you that she still needs. Now you have to say to yourself, are you ready to have that patience to be with, to try to be with someone who is not willing to be with you in that manner? Um, you have to be ready for that and strong for in that sense, because it's going to hurt more for you to stay. It's okay to be friends at the same time, but I would say completely let go and in a respectful way. It's okay to be friends, but it's going to continuously hurt. Are you ready to see her with somebody else, to move on with somebody else, and still keep you lingering around as a friend? In a financial aspect, whenever she feels need to go out, you're pretty much like the target, somewhere to constantly keep hitting when she wants to feel good. It doesn't work that way, and you should value yourself and your time much better than that. At the same time, loving, sometimes being in love uh, doesn't mean in being with somebody, to pretty much bring who you are. It's better to find yourself, love yourself more, respect yourself more, and know what you really want. And that's not what you need. Is someone who's going to be stagnated, not wanting to make something work, in a compromising fashion where you both benefit from it, not just her or not just yourself.
Okay, very well said, my brother. I mean, I always say when it comes to relationships, it takes two to make it work, not one. I'm coming to my brother Henry. It's a lot on his brother's plate. How can we help him? What advice you have for him?
Well, there's a lot of things that I kept rereading this over and over again, and a couple of the things that stuck out to me was that he said he wanted to take a faith-based approach. Now, when we talk about being faith-based, we're talking about, at least in our faith, and I'm going to assume everybody here is a Christian, we're talking about the faith that comes from our standing in the Bible. Now, one of the verses in the Bible tells men not to be bitter towards their wives, and that is definitely something that we should heed. However, if you take a look at the very first part of this, it says, I just learned on New Year's Day that my wife was no longer in love with me in a hotel trip in Disney World. Now, all relationships, whether it be platonic, whether it be brother and sister, husband and wife, whatever the relationship is, has to be grounded in respect. Where is the respect in this marriage where the wife has to tell her husband, in a situation where everybody is supposed to be happy, is supposed to be relaxed, and you're telling him that you're not in love with him anymore? You see, right there is that you didn't read the room, and you picked a place where Disney World is supposed to be the happiest place on earth, and you picked this time to have this conversation. Now, the type of person that I am, I always like to equate everything to sports. So I remember back in the time where the manager, I'm a New York Mets fan, and one of the years that the Mets had, they had a manager named Willie Randolph. Now, the Mets at this time in particular, this was maybe about 20, 25 years ago, they weren't doing very well. They weren't going to the World Series. They were in last place in their division, and the Mets knew that they needed a change. Rather than to give the manager his respect and letting him go, whether there was downtime, meaning like maybe during the All-Star break when there's really nothing happening, or waiting till the end of the season to make the changes when people normally make those changes, those kind of changes, they fired him in the middle of a road trip. In the middle of a road trip, in the middle of them playing in another park, they decided to go into his hotel room and fired him. Where was the respect in that? Where was the respect for the wife, who's supposed to be the wife, for her husband who's trying to save this marriage? Where's the respect for the man for himself, where he's going after a wife who clearly doesn't want him? Where's the respect in this marriage that he's sleeping on the couch? Where's the respect in this relationship to say, hey, look, this isn't working. For whatever reason, this isn't working. We either need to find some professional help, or we just need to part ways. There wasn't really any, in my opinion, there really wasn't any respect shown for either party from either party in this.
Very well said. Great dissecting that letter. Very well said. I'm coming to my sister Ernetta. What advice we have for this brother?
Wow. I just want to start off by saying I commend you, my dear brother, for stepping out and writing this letter. I would definitely have to say for you, by saying you are taking the faith-based approach, definitely continue to stay in faith and pray. I am a believer that God can change any situation, that even when your marriage is rocky, even when it looks like it's the end, God can restore it. Out of this can come a marriage ministry. You never know what could happen. But at the same time, you do have to go before God. You have to pray. You have to ask God for the clarity, for the wisdom, for the discernment. You have to go to him and say, God, do I stand in faith for this marriage, or do I let it go? So I think that's something that you really have to, sit before God and ask, because sometimes God can be showing us things, like Mr. Henry said, like, where is the respect? Where's the respect in all this? You have to be with somebody that's going to respect you, that's going to love you, that's going to be there to support you. And it doesn't sound like that's where she is right now. So, yeah, that's what I have to say.
Absolutely. Very well said. And before I give you my 2 cents into this, have a quick comment right here.
When a woman reveals her true feelings, it means she has been saying the same thing over and over. When she is fed up, that's the end of the discussion.
Right. She's no longer emotionally connected. And here's go another comment right here.
Yes, Ernetta Caldwell, only God can lead you. Thank you. Yes.
Very well said, my sister. Well, first off, I'm sorry that you're going through this experience. And I just want to let it be known that no personal relationship is perfect. In other words, we all go through storms, but it all depends on what storms you're going through, which will determine if you're with someone who truly cares or values you. From my perspective, just because you're married or whatever religious base you practice does not mean you're obligated to be disrespected, or you're obligated to be walked out on, or you're obligated to be abused physically, emotionally, or verbally. And I feel like this is why we have the power to divorce our significant other if it's done on a consistent basis, or if the other person is not willing to compromise on a consistent basis, or if this is a part of this person's genetic makeup. Because sometimes, sad to say this, but the writing is on the wall, whether we want to admit it or not, because listen, you can't force no one to love you. I think true love is freedom, where your significant other has the free will to respect your relationship, or she has the free will to be honest with you. And she definitely has the free will to be loyal to you, which sadly, it's not the case. And I feel like we just have to stop accepting these dysfunctional relationships as normal, So I would advise you to get some counseling, as everyone else stated on the panel, self-reflect and heal. And once you're ready, then pursue your next potential queen who will treat you the same way you want to be treated. Okay. So again, thank you for your letter, and I hope our advice helps you along your journey. Okay. Whew, man, that was a really touching letter. So that was just an icebreaker. You haven't seen anything yet. Thank you everyone for tuning in to DBS Live. We're going to go ahead and pivot to our first subtopic of our show, related to how balance can actually help us. And the first one is the ability to show masculine leadership, lead, provide, and protect. Man, us brothers, man, we have to step it up. This is the key fundamentals of being a man. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this out. So my thing is that when you lead, provide, and protect, I think classy women are really attracted to assertiveness and confidence within a man. One who is not afraid to make decisions and guide the ship in the right direction. One who provides a sense of stability and security. and one who will protect his woman verbally and non-verbally. All right. So I'm coming to my sister, Dr. Peggy. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Well, my first thought on this topic is who is leading the man, the leader, who is leading him? You know, the scripture tells us that the head of every man is Christ, and that he's the head of every woman, and then God is the head of Christ. So the thing about leadership is but that individual who leading must also lead from the perspective that someone is on. So is that person, is he leading from the a perspective of Christ is leading me, so that I'm doing this in a healthy manner. I am leading her in a healthy manner. And of course, any woman is attracted to a man, a leader, a good leader. You want that individual, want that man to be following God, because everyone is or something, and we definitely want him to be influence of God, so that he instructions from Christ, and he's following Christ, and therefore I can follow him. It is difficult to follow someone if they're not doing a healthy manner, if they are not in the way that they should, they're not providing. You know, a lot of relationships today, they're like 50-50. You know, I'll do half and you do half. But as it relates to a man, a woman looks for a man who is going to be a leader, but he's not going to be dominant and dominating her. He's not going to be abusive in that leadership. He's going to give her power and authority in making decisions, that he will come and discuss things with her and not just make those decisions without considering her or even considering the family.
Very well said. And listen, this is going to have to be the first shots fired on the show. Very well said, Dr. Peggie. Listen, I tell my brothers up there, listen, if you cannot lead yourself, you cannot lead a relationship. And there is a huge difference between leading and controlling. So I'm coming to my brother Henry. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Now, and just to piggyback off of what Dr. Peggie eloquently said, in order for you to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. And if you didn't have that rooted in following, especially in following Christ, then how can you lead others? And it's easy to be a leader when everything is sunshine and roses, but true leadership can navigate through the storms. And just to continue with the Bible theme, and correct me, Bible scholars, if I'm wrong, David had a group of people. He didn't have a group of trained soldiers. He had a group of misfits. And what happened is that he came back from a battle, and his home was destroyed. Their homes were destroyed. Their wives and children were taken. All of the soldiers there were ready to mutiny over what was happening. But rather than for David to look to wallow in his sorrow, he looked to God, and the first question he asked him was, "Shall I go and retrieve them? Shall I go after them?" A good leader knows exactly when to lay back, and a good leader knows when to fight. And when he looks up at God, God says, "Go after them, for you shall retrieve everything that you lost." And that's a loose translation. In relationships, the man and the woman involved have to know that you're ready, you're willing to fight, not each other, but to fight the world. If it's you and me, then it's you and me. Okay? If it means as a leader, I'm gonna let my wife take the lead, or I'm gonna let my significant other take the lead, because there are areas that she's stronger in than I am, then I'll let her take the lead. If she wants me to take the lead and make the decisions, then I will make sure that not only do I make the decisions, I also include her in the process. And these are all things that a good leader is supposed to do, because a good leader isn't supposed to take himself into consideration. The good leader is supposed to take those that are under him or that are with him into consideration as well. And we go into the sports realm, good coaches are the ones that can lead the men or lead the women or lead the team in good times and in bad times, simply because they know that they all have one goal. Whether it is to win a certain number of games, whether it is to win a division title, go to the playoffs, or win a championship, the leader knows how to get the best out of the people that are with him. And so when a man and a woman know how to get the best out of each other, then that right there is a mature relationship.
Ah, man, very true. I mean, the thing is, when you want a healthy relationship, you don't want to look for a roommate. I feel like 50-50 is like a roommate. You want to look for a teammate, someone that you can build a legacy with, someone that is on the same wavelength as you. Very well said, Henry. I'm coming to my brother, Freddie. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
I agree with everybody on the panel. Faith-based, it's always good, because I say that it's not only just is healthy, to have somebody who's going to be a leader. What is leading him? Where does this teaching come from? How is he a leader? That also conducts. Also, I tell a lot of people, a man who can be a leader also is control of his emotions. Learning how to guide people, and one thing that I see me growing up as a young man too is a lot of men that was around me. I noticed that their tempers was high. They were kind of lost. There wasn't faith-based type of person. They, for them, their leadership was trying to either demanding or taking, or or blaming some others and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I can't be like that. That doesn't feel comfortable to me. It brings uncomfort. Leadership comes where a man himself is balanced in a state where he knows where he's going. He's not lost, because his leaders pretty much is our creator. Our creator pretty much gave the blueprint for us to follow. Once we follow that, everything else becomes an easy path, but we'll always be tested at the same time. This is where a man also, if he's married, at the same time, bring in his wife, where she's part of everything and of every decision that he makes also too, because it's a family, it's a union. It becomes, a woman is our helpers. We're not in my beliefs, I say we're our creator says we're created equal, not one above the other. Where a woman is our helper in this world, and we go into this tackling and learning with each other at the same time in the same process. The only thing that separates us is one is male and another one is female, and learning together in order to build. One must learn at the same time is I would say to drop your gaze. A man who can drop his gaze is also another trait of leadership. Learning dropping his gaze is meaning you have a woman, your wife, someone that you say you love and care about. You don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. It's okay to admire other things, like seeing other things, be like, okay, that's beautiful. But to lust over it is where it becomes wrong and very disrespectful. So
Absolutely, very well said, brother. Man, establishing, having a form of self-discipline is part of a leadership trait as well. Absolutely. Coming to my sister Ernetta, what are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Wow. Well, my thoughts, I agree with a lot of you, everyone that has mentioned something in this panel, that it's a man that can be led by Christ. I feel that a man needs to know his purpose. He needs to know who he is in order to lead, and he needs to be able to have a foundation and a solid one. I feel that even as a man, being able to understand his role within a relationship, within a marriage, he knows who he is and he is confident. And that is very, very attracting to a woman. But as well, if a man is able to know I would say his weaknesses, and can be able to go to his significant other and say, you're stronger in this, and I know I will let you lead in this way. I think that's fine as well, because I feel that that's him understanding this is not my role. This is not something I can do, because sometimes men can try to take on too much as well, but yet we are a helpmate as the women to the men. We need to be there to have his back, to support him, because I feel that men face so much out in this world and they need women that's going to back them up. So that's my take on that.
Woo! Very well said. Listen, I always use the analogy of we're on the same track team. I got the same uniform, you have the same uniform. We're both playing for the same high school, we both have the same jersey, everything. So why don't we run together to win the race together? So very well said. From my perspective, I would say from a man's perspective, this is where a brother has to live a little close to the edge in order for transformation to occur. And that includes your life's mission, because I tell men, as I stated, if you can't lead yourself, you cannot lead a relationship. And that does come from our Creator. And the reality is, when you lead yourself and make decisions and you're relying on Christ and you have the wisdom to establish your purpose in life, this will provide some sort of sense of stability as well as security with the right woman, so she feels protected and will relax in her natural feminine essence. And I'll say within a man's natural masculine essence, he's supposed to focus on his purpose. However, with his natural counterpart, she will inspire him to become a better man. I mean, just, think of the woman as fuel, and that man is a rocket ship, and she just pouring her emotional nurturing fuel for him to keep getting better and better. I think these are basic fundamentals that a lot of our brothers lack today. And I think that we have to start reversing this trend in order for our men to continue to be great leaders. Because I believe a man should not only be emotionally connected to his woman, but also on a spiritual, mental, and physical level. Okay. So we're going to go ahead to a quick commercial break, and it has been fire. Actually, before we go to a commercial break, I'm loving these comments right here. I'm going to pull up one right quick.
The Bible says, man, woman, then family. Amen, Henry. Erica Renee.
All right. Well, actually, the Bible says God, man, woman, then family. All right.
Very well.
It's all good. All right.
God gets the glory out of all.
That's right. Next comment. Okay.
Oh, we are getting into scripture today.
That's right, man. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. So now we're going to take our quick commercial break. This is DBDS Live. Sit tight.
Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up today at dbdssingles.com. Let's make love and loyalty dope again.
All right. Welcome back to DBDS Live. I'm here with my sister, Dr. Peggie, my brother Henry, my brother Freddie Lopez, and my DBDS sister Ernetta. And listen, we just been dropping not only fire, but the scripture. Today you are in church, so you're going to get all of this, So before we continue on to the show, I'm going to just give some shout outs on Facebook. So shout out to my DBDS sister Gianni. Thank you for watching. My sister Jean, my sister Erica Renee, Malaysia. Thank you so much for all your amazing comments. To my brother Gotham, my brother Curtis, Jasmine, wow, Marquita, Sean, Tanisha, Tammy Thomas, so many people. The list goes on and on. Thank you so much for watching. So before we continue to our next topic, I'm just going to pull up one other comment here.
Hey guys, Ernetta Caldwell, you are looking and doing amazing. Oh, thank you so much.
That was from our sister Gianni. Thank you so much for that. All right, so we're going to go ahead. So we're going to go ahead to the next topic. And the next topic is feminine gracefulness, nurturing, emotional supporter, and mysterious. Man, I feel like today there's a lot of lost discretion out there. You could just look on social media. I'm going to just break it down here. So my thing is that a woman who's mysterious is one who leaves the rest to a man's imagination, which demonstrates that she gets attention without even trying, shows that she has respect for herself. Also, a woman who is nurturing shows definite signs that she is caring and affectionate, which is extremely attractive to a high-value man. Especially a man who is precise and productive towards his goals can go even further with the right woman who is supportive and inspires him to become a better man. So I'm coming to my sister, Dr. Peggie. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Oh, I think that's an awesome topic. We are created to be feminine. We're created to be graceful, and we're created to be nurturers as well as emotional supporters, and just we are able to operate in all of those various dimensions. When we are spiritually healthy and well, we can actually go. To be feminine, I think, is to be ladylike. It's more than just being born of a woman, but it's to be ladylike. It is to do those things that are feminine. We have this thing going on in the culture now where everybody does everything. Everybody does everything. And sometimes, there doesn't seem to be any division in the things that a woman does and is expected to do, and the things that a man does and is expected to do. And I think our culture has a lot to do with that because of the many adaptations we've had. One is missing from the household, or a father is missing, or a mother is missing. So we don't get to see that model before us. But I think something that we definitely need to, that we are women, we are to be feminine, we are the weaker sex, not as it relates to our knowledge and our intellect, but our physical bodies. Sometimes we are not as strong as men in certain areas in our physical bodies. We were created to be, because we give birth to children. We have children. We have to nurture those children. We have to train them up in the way that they should be and the way that they should go, which also gives us that ability to nurture our spouses, to nurture them in the way that they need to be nurtured, because there are different areas that we need to make sure that we build them up in those areas and not tear them down. So nurturing means that we build them up. Even if we see a weakness, it's not something that we take that weakness and we are constantly using it against them. We are there as a helpmeet to build up that area. And I always say, in relationships, with any relationship, your weaknesses are going to be exposed. Especially the ones that you don't know about. And I believe our God was intentional in doing this, because in that process, we begin to work together with one another to strengthen those weaknesses. And that's what the purpose is. Out of love, we strengthen those weaknesses, we nurture them, we build them up. But we must be full and observant in looking and seeing and knowing what those areas are. I feel like this. I raised 3 sons, and we shouldn't tell our sons that not manly to cry, to show emotions. God creates us with emotions. They are to be expressed, but we must learn how to express them and when to express them. Even anger, there's good and bad anger. And the scripture says, be angry, but do not sin. So it's okay to be angry, but what do you do angry? And so we as females must understand that we need to allow to express and show emotions. I want a man who, when he's hurting, to let me know he's hurting. When he's angry and he needs a shoulder to cry on, be that shoulder that he cries on, and not feel like this makes him a weak person because he expresses those emotions. And yes, only a fool tells all. So therefore, yes, must be a little bit mysterious. We must keep the as the years go by. You know, I've been married for 50 years. My husband doesn't constantly learning things about me. We're constantly growing together in that area. And that is exciting when you just there is something that I need to learn about him or her that I don't know. And so I'm going to watch, I'm going to ask questions, I'm going to pray and ask God to reveal those things to me. Yes, it's good to be a little bit mysterious, ladies. Not tell all, not keep secrets that, you know, okay. I think that's wrong. That can be damaging to any relationship when we are mysterious to the point that we are hiding negative things that really should be shared. It's okay to go and buy that dress and hide it in the closet for a couple of months before before you allow him to know that it's there. And I think that we build upon one another. We build on one another. We share with one another. We help one another. And we grow together.
All right. Very well said. Yes, yes. Mysterious to the point that you want that man to slowly unravel you and get to know every aspect about you. That's what the mysterious portion is. I'm coming to my brother, Henry. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Now, Brother Mel, Sister Peggy, Brother Lopez, Sister Ernetta, there are different ways we can actually go with this. And one of the ways I'm going to start with this is that we talk about the mystery. So let's start with this. There's a reason why we equate things with women. There's a reason why we equate things with women, because there are certain things that men covet. Like, for example, some men covet their cars. And what they do is that they get the oil changed every 3,000 miles. They get the car cleaned. They get the car detailed, and they covet that like they covet their women. They go out and they make sure that she's properly clothed. If she wants to get her nails done, she gets her nails done. If she needs to get her hair done, she gets her hair done. So that when she goes out, she's a representation of not just him, but her best self, because he put the time and effort into it. Now, we also equate women with nature, because remember, as the Bible says, that God made Eve to go with Adam, and Eve was the mother of all creation, hence the word Mother Earth. If Adam was there to work on the earth, it was Eve was there to cultivate it. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the relationship. If the man goes out to work, if the man goes out to protect, if the man goes out to provide, then the woman is there to complement him, to complement in those areas where he isn't strong in. Men generally aren't nurturing, but women are. Men generally aren't soft, but women are. And so that's why they're there to accentuate the best portions of us when we can't do it ourselves. And so there is a reason why when the mystery, we go back to the mystery where we talk about when you go into a car lot and you're looking at which car that you want to buy, you don't necessarily jump into the first car that you go into. You want to read the Carfax, meaning that you want to know everything that goes on, everything that happened with that car. Now, going into a relationship with a woman is the same way. The mysterious part of it, the mystery part of it, is that whenever you have a book, you're going to read the front of the book, you're going to read the title, and then you're going to read certain parts of the page to say, what is it that I need to do to unlock this woman's language, to unlock her love language, to unlock her mystery, to what makes her tick. And what you have to do is you have to go in and you have to investigate. Now, how do you investigate? You get to know her. You get to know her likes. You get to know her dislikes. You pay attention. You put the work in. You put the work in, just like with anything else. Just like that track star that you mentioned, Mel. When that track team, when they go around, they have to know the rhythm of everybody. They have to know the timing of everybody. The same thing in a relationship. You should know when exactly to push forward, when exactly to lay back, what exactly it is that she wants your opinion, and maybe, just maybe, sometimes she just wants you to listen. And all of that is the mystery that goes into that woman, that goes into unlocking that mystery. And then when you do unlock the mystery of the woman, and guys, understand, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight simply because of the fact that women don't want you to know everything up front. If they don't want you to know everything up front, then why are you here? So you go in and you learn things about your woman. You learn things about who she is. And she's not going to tell you everything up front. She wants to see how much work you're going to put into getting to know her. She's going to want to know exactly if you're here for the long haul or if you're here only for a couple of stops and then you're going to get off at Grand Central. You know what I'm saying? She wants to know if you're going to put the work in. At our church, it says that it is an honor to worship and work for the King of Kings. We do all the worshiping, the hollering, the hallelujahs, but are we willing to put the work in? Are we willing to do whatever it is to get to know this woman? And not only that, because again, we talk about 50-50. Relationships aren't 50-50 because that means that you're only putting in half. Each member is only putting in half the effort. So if you're going to unlock the mystery of this woman, now unlock the mystery of a woman, not women. Because if you ever notice safecrackers can only crack one safe at a time. They don't try to crack this safe over here and then go to crack this safe over here and then try to crack this safe over here. They're going to put all of their energy into trying to open this particular safe. And what they do is they take their time, they listen, they try to hear all the nuances because women have nuances. And I'm going to end with this. Once you unlock the mystery to that woman, there's no stopping you.
Woo. So, all right. No, I don't have to. Well said, brother. Coming to my brother Freddie. What are your thoughts on this particular topic?
I will start by with the mysterious part too. A woman, that's mysterious is. I would say I admire very much for the simple fact is it gives me something to look forward to. It is constantly learning her, because in order for me to learn who she is and what I can do for to better our relationship, she must be mysterious. And once I get it, it's almost like winning a jackpot or something. At the same time, her being supportive of me if I have a dream. At the same time, another thing that I admire of a woman also is that not only her way of supporting myself, and I would support her the same as equal too, because two dreams also make one big one in order to make a family grow. In an emotional aspect too, at the same time, I respect also that in a woman too, because not only they're emotional creatures in a sense, and not in a bad way, but in a good term, meaning that she's able to not just listen at the same time, but feel where you're coming from when you're speaking to her. A woman is a listener not only where her mind, but also with her heart, which is that's the reason why us men need to protect that of a woman is our heart, so that way her mind doesn't get scattered. Um, at the same time, a woman's patience, also in understanding that 100% where it comes from that man, she will also know that and see that within herself, which her heart also follows that mind of who she sees as her king. Um, Also, in the grace of her uh, gracefulness is how she moves and conducts herself smoothly, like not a woman that argues constantly, but learns how to. She's soft spoken, just as is a man when he speaks to a woman, with to his lady, to his queen. He shouldn't raise his voice. He should speak to her with respect and with the ability where you know she can now she don't have to be pretty much not be scared of him, because when you're yelling and now you got two people yelling, is almost everybody wants to be right. um, and also you don't want to bring in a sense where I see this a lot too, where a man loses the respect of a woman because of that, by raising his voice too high, or being in a certain way of violence. And then she pretty much mimics the same thing, and which is becomes unbalanced and unpleasant. I could add some more. I could keep going on forever, but I really I would say that also nurturing part, which is the amazing part of a feminine part of a woman, is how she conducts herself, even bringing life into this world. How nurturing she is. Not only with that, in a sense of respect of how she is with her children. Not only just that, it starts with their parents too, because a woman learns that nurturing from her parents at the same time, and how she is so caring of her mother and father. And then her peers too, brothers and sisters. Nurturing comes in many sense also when before she brings life into this world. A man, like myself, I would look into those characters also in a woman at the same time, because that is very important of how she treats, those in her surroundings as well. Because if I could see myself in her, I could then I say to myself and many other men that probably would say, I could take the effort to make the approach to learn her even more, because she becomes an importance to him, and she becomes at the same time, whereas the mysterious part where I bring that back is a woman who covers herself, doesn't have to show herself out there to the world, because there was a saying one time that was stated to me. I forgot exactly when, but a guy said he doesn't want a queen who still seeks the attention of the kingdom, because she's on, she's out there looking for this attention when the king is right there. She has no respect. She loses self-respect for one. Then she has no respect for others, and she opens the doors for everything else to happen, which is destruction. Um, and that's pretty much it.
Very powerful, brother. Very powerful. Before we go to my sister Ernetta, I'll just go to a couple of comments, and then we're going to finish off with our Jerry Springer moment after my piece. But here we go.
Nurturing the key.
All right. Next one.
Be in tune with your woman. Research.
Okay. We need a class on this. I just said that.
Men need this class.
Somebody was reading my mind when I said that. Okay. So, Ernetta, what are your thoughts on this particular topic?
Okay, I'm gonna just how I look at it as a woman's perspective from myself is that a woman is like a beautiful flower. If you water her, if you nurture her, if you speak to her, she is going to bloom. She is going to blossom, right? But in return with that, a woman needs to do the same for a man. She needs to respect him and not tear him down. She needs to uplift him, even in the good times or in the bad times. And that's what we need within relationships. It's very, very, very important. And women, I feel like respecting you and yourself, what you wear, how you act, the things you say and do, it shows a lot about you as a person, as an individual. So that man is a reflection of you. So when you are out, whatever you're doing, do it with respect. Being mysterious, like you don't have to show everything on you or flaunt everything just to get approval from others. Because like I love what you said, brother Freddie. Like you have this king right here with you to show you all the affection and love that you need. So that's what I definitely have to say.
And listen, I'm going to be quick, but just to piggyback off the amazing panel, for a lot of sisters, I believe maintaining their mystery is especially challenging because when they're really attracted to a man, sometimes they'll become, easily accessible if they're not maintaining their mystery, or they become sexually available and completely open, and more than likely may end up with the wrong man who may take advantage of a woman's mindset, or even sometimes a great man with good intentions, but can lose interest very fast because there's no mystery left. He may feel cheated out of a challenge to get to know her and value her, and her respect may actually drop in his eyes. So this is why being mysterious actually works in a woman's favor, because if he's truly interested, then he will take the time to unravel every aspect about you. Also, a woman that is very nurturing, I believe that's a woman's superpower. Because listen, the second we come out of your womb, we know that you're a woman. Because all those senses, you stimulate us, And truthfully, a man, a woman that's nurturing can always recharge her battery pack on her back in order for us to become a better man and for us to make her a better woman. So listen, we have one more commercial break. And when we come back, that's right, it is our Jerry Springer moment. So sit tight. This is DBDS Live. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome to DBDS Live. I'm here with my sister, Dr. Peggie, my brother Freddie, my brother Henry, and my DBDS sister, Ernetta. It's been nothing but golden nuggets. And if you missed this episode, listen, don't worry. It will be on heavy rotation throughout the week on Facebook, but you can also catch this episode on DBDS Live, which is our YouTube channel. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast, which is DBDS Live LLC, podbean.com. Actually, I'll go ahead and put it right on our screen there. That's DBDS Live LLC, podbean.com. So make sure you follow us. So now it's about that time to share our final thoughts with today's show. So I'm coming to my sister, Dr. Peggie. Give the people who's watching your final thoughts on today's show.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. And I would just like to say that God created men and women uniquely different. And those differences are to complement one another, to help one another. As we learn about one another, we learn different perspectives. We learn different ways. We learn how to think differently and how to receive individual based on their thoughts and their perspectives. I like to say that the word of God is to love one another and to treat one another as we desire them. The only way that you can do that is to learn how I would like to be treated, and for me to learn how you would like to be treated. And that is relationship, because what I like may not be what you like. And therefore, we must spend that time to communicate, you talk, to reason, communicate. And so we must take that time to seriously communicate with one another. If there are things that are not understood, take the time to ask those questions and then be honest and open to answer those questions so that we don't have to always be peeling back the onions when it deals with conflicts, especially. Be open and honest to talk about what it is that is really bothering you. And that's not the time to be mysterious for that spouse to have to dig to find out what is really going on in you. That is the time to be open and honest about on so that something can be done. I'm a firm believer that nothing is impossible with God. All things are possible, but we must be willing to do the work.
Very powerful and well said. And I normally don't do this on the Jerry Springer moment, but very powerful. I'm coming to my brother Freddie. What are your final thoughts for today's show?
My final thoughts would be what one must learn how to critique themselves as growing up. I say this in a manly point of view. If you can say that you would allow your mother, aunt, sister, daughters to be with a man such as yourself, you will be in great standards of being in a pattern of way of being in a relationship. Because if you could say yes, then you would know that you can be a great man, or the potential to be as you're growing up. Same thing as for women. My advice to women would be, if you can state that you allow your father, your brother, and so on, your son to be with a woman such as yourself, then you'll be in great standards as a woman within yourself to be ready to start a relationship. But it must start with you and must begin with you, and have faith, and God bless you all.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your final thoughts. Very well said. Now I'm coming to my brother Henry. What are your final thoughts for today's show?
Once again, God bless everybody, and thank you for allowing me to be here today. And as always, I always have a great time and learn something when I'm on DBDS. And my final thought is this. The Bible says that God made Eve for Adam. The most powerful entity in this world is a married couple, because the married couple complements each other. Just like on a football team, there's 11 people on offense, there's 11 people on defense. That happens for a specific reason. When the offense is out there, they do their job. When the defense is out there, they do their job. And when they set each other up for success, there is nothing more powerful than a balanced team. The same way it is in a balanced marriage or balanced relationship. When the man comes home and brings home all the groceries, it's the woman that makes it look, smell, and taste good. And when the woman goes out there and she presents the home, it's the man that keeps that home upright and intact. And so when you put those two things together, it's simply a happy home. God bless you.
And I'm coming to wow, very well said, brother. And I'm coming to my sister Ernetta. What are your final thoughts for today's show?
You feel that heat is getting hot in here.
I know.
I would just have to definitely say for my final thoughts that, we are better together, and to have a balance within a relationship, you have to be a team. You can't be against each other. You have to work with each other. You have to learn each other. And as men, just being emotionally connected to a woman to understand what she needs, and vice versa, as a woman, knowing what that man needs. If he needs to show his emotional side to you, if a man cries, that doesn't make him less of a man. It makes you more of a woman to say, you know what, baby, I got you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to uplift you. So right now in your relationships, really look at your mate, your spouse, and embrace them, because that's what it's all about, and the love that you can show each other.
Very well. Thank you so much for that, my DBDS sister. And thank you, everyone, for coming onto the show. What an amazing panel. Also, make sure you tune in next Sunday, as we will discuss how to read between the lines. So I'm just going to finish off with my final say of today's show. And my thing is, we need more of a healthy, balanced discourse and understand how meaningful it is to complement each other, even though there are some great areas, but there is a reason why we're made different. A few examples would be masculine is penetrating, feminine is receptive, masculine is action, feminine is inspiration. Masculine is rational, feminine is intuitive. Masculine is hard, feminine is soft. Masculine is decisiveness, feminine is patience. Once we begin to understand these concepts and apply to our life more often, we'll then be able to get the relationship we desire. So once again, I want to thank this amazing panel and much love to the DBDS family.
Hey, Mel, send us off.
Hey.